Hello friends, good morning all. Once again, warm welcome to Majma Online Education. In the last class, we studied about the development of architecture in the medieval India, and today we are going to study the development of music and painting in our country during the medieval period. Okay, like architecture, our country gave more importance, or our ancestors, that means our earlier rulers, they gave maximum support for the development of music and painting. Okay, and the development of music in the medieval period we can classify into two. That means in South India and in the northern part of our country. Okay, in South India, a particular type of music developed during the medieval period, and it is known as Carnatic music. Carnatic music. Please note the point. In South India, a particular type of music developed during the medieval period, and it is known as Carnatic music. Okay. Then Purandara Dasa was the famous person famous poet during this time. Purandara Dasa. Please note that. Purandara Dasa, who gave maximum support for the development of Carnatic music. Okay. Then you know that different people or different musicians or different architects and some great scholars who visited our country during the medieval period from different parts of the world. Okay, then because of the coming of the musicians from Persian parts and that people shared their ideas with the Indian music or Indian musicians, a particular type of music developed in the north part of our country. It is known as Hindustani music. Hindustani music. Clear? So Hindustani music developed especially during the period of Mughal and Sultanate period. Mughal and Sultanate period. Okay, so during the Mughal period and during the Sultanate period, so many Persian musicians visited our country. So they shared their ideas with the Indian musicians, and because of the mingling of these two types of music, a particular type of music developed, it is known as Hindustani music. Okay, so in the medieval period in our country, they developed two types of music. Which are they? First one, yes, first one, Carnatic music. And who gave more importance or more activities or more shares for the development of Carnatic music? Yes, it was Purandara Dasa. Okay, then during the period of Mughal and Sultanate, another important idea of music or another important part of music developed in our country. What was the name of that? Yes, very good. It was Hindustani music. Okay, then during that period, the famous lyrics or musicians' name you have already studied. Can you say who were the famous persons during the Mughal or Sultanate period? The famous musicians. What was that? Yes, first one, Amir Khusro. Okay, so please note the point. Amir Khusro. Then another important person during this period was Tansen. Okay, so Tansen and Amir Khusro, they gave maximum support for the development of Hindustani music. Okay, and during this period, a particular type of rhythm or a particular type of song developed. It is known as Qawwali. Qawwali. Qawwali means it's a particular song. It is closely related with God. And you know that during that time, two important two important isms developed, that is Sufism and Bhakti movement. That means that two movements related with the development of religious beliefs. That means Sufi movement is closely related with Muslim culture, and Bhakti movement is closely related with Hindu ideologies. Okay, so because of these two isms, the music developed during this period very well, and Qawwali is closely related with Sufi saints. Sufi saints who worshipped God by singing different types of loving songs. It clearly shows their love towards the God. Such a type of songs are called what? Qawwali. Okay, so qawwalis are a particular type of lyrics or a particular type of songs, and they are singing to appreciate or to show the love towards the God, and these songs are singing especially by Sufi saints. Okay, so Amir Khusro gave more support for the development of qawwali music or qawwali song. Okay, and during this period, two important types of musical instruments were also used, and you can see in your textbook. All of you look here. You can see two important musical instruments used during that period. That is, first one sitar and another one is tabla. Okay, so please note that tabla and sitar were also used during this period. Tabla and sitar. Okay, tabla and sitars were the two important musical instruments used in the medieval period. So once again, the development of music in the medieval period, I am going to repeat. Listen here. First one, we can classify the development of music in the medieval period into two. In the south part of our country, Carnatic music developed, and Purandara Dasa was a famous Carnatic musician during this time, and another one, Hindustani music. Hindustani music was the origin, or it is because of the result of the mingling of Persian music with the Indian music. Okay, and this developed especially in the Mughal and Sultanate period. Then next one, the famous musicians during the Hindustani period were Amir Khusro and Tansen. Okay, and a particular time of a song or lyrics developed or music developed during this time, that is known as qawwali. It's a particular rhythm or particular lyrics or songs. It is singing to show the love of the people with the God. That means these songs, it clearly shows the love of the people towards the God, and these songs are singing by the Sufi movement people or a particular group of people or saints, and they are showing or they are preaching their religious ideologies by singing songs. Okay, then Amir Khusro gave more importance or more support for the development of qawwali. Okay, then during this time, two important musical instruments were also used. They were tabla and sitar. Okay, now we can study. Music is over. Now we can study the development of painting. What was the development of painting during the medieval period? And it is a simple one. You know that in the last class we discussed different types of temples constructed during the medieval period by depicting different types of stories taken from Ramayana, Mahabharata, and some other Bhagavata, etc. And most of the temples were constructed by using chiseled rocks or a single rock carved in such a type of models. And they decorated the temple walls by using different types of paintings, not by drawing, but by using rocks with the help of chisel. Okay, that means they carved the stone and they depicted the picture on the wall of the temple. And now we are going to study the development of paintings during the medieval period. In your textbook you can see different types of paintings in the Mughal period, Sultanate period, etc. And all these periods the picture is drawn by using different types of paintings, and these pictures are taken from Ramayana, Mahabharata, then Bible, then the lifestyle of the kings, or we can say the royal life of the kings and the beauty of the nature. All these are the important ideas or important subjects the people or the painters used during the medieval period to draw different types of paintings. Okay, that's the only thing you have to keep in mind about the development of painting in the medieval period. That means the medieval period, the painters used different materials to draw the paintings, and the subjects they collected from Ramayana, then Bible, then royal life of the king and the beauty of the nature. Okay, now we are going to study what are the importance of literature during the medieval period. Literature during the period. You know that during the medieval period, both Sufism and Bhakti movement developed in the medieval period. And you know that in Hindu religion, different types of superstitions prevailed. So a lot of people suffered different types of problems because of the extra supervisions and the highly costly ritual practices. So during this time, two important isms, that is the Sufi movement and the Bhakti movement, they came into practice. So a lot of people were ready to accept that two movement. And the Bhakti movement, it was the result of two important group of people in Hindus, that is especially a particular group of Shaiva beliefs and some other group, that means they believed the Lord Vishnu. That means Alvars and Nayanars. Alvar people, they worshipped Lord Vishnu, and Nayanar people, they worshipped Lord Shiva. Okay, so that also you can see in your textbook. Please note here Bhakti movement. Here you can see a small short about it. You need not study all these points, but you keep in mind Alvars and Nayanars, or we can say Vaishnavites. Okay, these two group of people, they worshipped God by singing songs. Okay, and Bhakti movement is closely related with the Hindu religion, and according to this movement, they worshipped the God by singing songs, and they do not believe in any animal sacrifice, they do not believe in any superstitions, and they were not at all ready or not at all asked to live luxurious life. They led simple life, and because of all these activities done by the Bhakti people, a lot of people accepted or they were ready to accept the ideologies of Bhakti movement. Okay, and the Bhakti people or the followers of Bhakti movement, they spread their ideologies by using vernaculars. Vernacular means local language, or we can say by using the language of the common people. Okay, so it helped the development of different types of local languages, especially Malayalam, Telugu, Kannada, Marathi, Bengali, etc. Okay, that you can see in your textbook, the development of different types of local languages because of the Bhakti and Sufi movement. We can see both Bhakti and Sufi movement, the ideas are more or less same. Okay, both group argued the common people that you need not lead luxurious life, you need not sacrifice animals to get the loving or to get the blessings from the God. You show your love towards the God by doing simple life, simple activities in your life, by helping others, by singing songs, etc. Okay, so we can say that because of the working of both Bhakti and Sufi movement, a number of common languages, that means local languages, developed during the medieval period. Okay, so because of the development of local languages, the literature also developed, because a number of new books were written during this period. Then which were the famous literary works during the period, medieval India? You can see page number 116. Okay, so you just read which were the famous works written in Malayalam, Hindi, Kannada, Marathi, Gujarati, Bengali, then Odia, Tamil, Telugu. All these languages, there were different types of books published during this period. Okay, so you please do this work. Just read this work written by famous poets and what was their work, and by looking this work, you please complete this work also. Okay, so you please study what was the important literary works done during the medieval period, and which was that work, and who were the poets. Okay, so by looking that flow chart, you complete the table in page number 117. Okay, so literature, you have to keep in mind that important points. And another important part we have to study is that during the Sufi movement, a number of Indian texts or Indian books were translated into Persian languages, especially Hindu Puranas, that is Ramayana, Mahabharata, etc. All these books were translated into Persian language. Okay, then another important incident took place during this time was the development of Urdu language. The development of Urdu language. You know that Urdu language was a mixture of Arabic, Persian, and Indian languages like Hindi and Sanskrit. Okay, so the development of Urdu was an important incident or important condition or important thing during the medieval India, and it also we can say as a part of the development of literature. Okay, so please note the point. Urdu language developed because of the mingling of Persian language, then Arabic language, then Indian languages like Hindi and Sanskrit. Okay, so because of the development of Urdu language, a number of Indian texts were translated into Urdu language, because you know that Persian people, Arabic people, they came to our country for trading purpose and for studying Indian culture, for many activities. They visited our country. So because of the mingling of Indian people and these foreign people, it paved the way for the development of which language? Urdu language. Okay, so please note, Urdu language developed by the mingling of which are the languages? Arabic language and Persian language, then Indian languages like Hindu and Sanskrit. Okay, so please note, Urdu developed because of the mingling of Arabic, then Persian, then Indian languages like Hindi and Sanskrit. Okay. Sanskrit. Then during this period, Ramayana and Mahabharata were translated into Urdu language. Then you know that there is another person, Dara. He was the son of Shah Jahan. He also translated Atharva Veda. You know that there were 4 types of Vedas. You have studied from your lower class 4 types of Vedas. So Atharva Veda and Upanishad, Dara, the son of Shah Jahan, he translated into Persian language. Okay, so please note that the son of Shah Jahan, Dara, he translated. Dara was the son of Shah Jahan. He translated Hindu texts like Atharva Veda and Puranas into Upanishads into Persian language. So please note that point. Okay, so these are the important points you have to keep in mind about the progress of literature in the medieval period. Okay. And now our chapter is completed. So it is a time to wind up here. So I am going to stop here. Thank you. Bye bye.